Hello, 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 and welcome back to EXR F1 Tier 2 after our break week and mid-season transfer window. We're back now, racing again, as we like to see. This time we are at a personal favourite of mine, Silverstone. Quite a tricky track, but we'll have to see how the drivers cope with it. Looks to be a dry quali session with track looking very dry and the sun out. Does it let you include audio, Jake? Cool. Great. Oh my days. Why is he joined? Awful setup. Awful. Nah, you need 210. We're on board with ZZRD, who is going out on his out lap now. Looking to impress as per usual. So yeah, you'll see a lot of the drivers in different cars. Well, quite a few, and a few gamer tag changes for likes of Explicit, who is now Bosch. Teaming up with El Pistolero in the Red Bull as well, so they're looking to be a very strong team. So some new people that have come up from Tier 3 to Tier 2, likes of Louis T permanently, EXR Sky, who's looking very promising, and also Ben M1231 in the Renault, all three being promoted from Tier 3. And Lou J Drab, sorry, I forgot about that. But so yeah, we're going to go aboard with ZZRD going for his first flying lap of the session, using all the curves for turn 1, taking it very nicely. Going down towards the loop now. Oh, and he's gone. Oh, he's lagging. Okay. Looks to be decently clean from him so far. He sets a 0.7. Well, he does a 27 flat first sector, which is not bad for the first run in Q in the start of the session. But I'm sure there'll be lots to improve on there. Taking a nice tight line through up into old turn 1, taking Cops flat out, of course, in these cars. He tries not to run off too wide. It's been quite a solid lap from him so far, using all of the curbs through Maggotts and Beckett. Taking it very nicely so far. Bit of a twitchy moment through Maggotts, Beckett and Chapel, but it's been a decent lap. Probably going to be around the 25-1-ishes, I would say, from the lap I've seen so far. I reckon pole will likely be in the 24s. Just gonna have to wait to see that towards the end of the session. And he sets a 25.5 as a bank lap, not too bad from the McLaren driver. or Pistolero as well on laps in the same middle sector split as ZZRD, so I'm sure he'll be setting a similar lap to him. As Babosh goes P2 with a 25.2, and Aries Stark P1 provisionally with a 25.2. So already some pretty strong banker laps coming in from some of these drivers. El Pistolero comes home P3 on his first lap with a 25.3. So we can already see the times kind of tumbling down, and Sky setting almost a purple first middle sector split there. Let's see what he can do in the last sector. Being on the power very nice and early there, using all of the track available. Taking the Vale Chicane very nicely, trying to get on the power as early as possible. And he comes around the final corner to set at 25.285, putting himself in P3 provisionally. So not the most awful lap from him. As Prius does a 2-3 middle sector on the mediums, so be a pretty decent lap from him on the mediums. I doubt he'll be starting on these tyres. However, he'll be looking to set a banker on them. Prius using no traction, of course, so something to bear in mind. I was just very cautious with the last step. So 25.9 on mediums, definitely not an accurate representation of his pace, as mediums around here aren't actually that much slower. They're about 5/10 slower than the soft. No. Because everyone's crying. Yeah. Yeah. So Cutler's going out on a lap now, I believe. Oh, Cutler having a bit of a moment. Two cops there. Another 2 flat middle sector. A lot of the drivers setting around the 2 to 2.2 middle sector splits. So Sky, why are you on auto gears as well? Ew. And Cutler with a 25.4. So not bad from him. So not a very big fuel spread at the moment. Second covering the top 15. Yeah. Ben M goes on his outlap. I think the first person to go over and start his second flyer, warming his tyres quite nicely there. Doing a nice exit out of the Vale Chicane and into the lap. He goes. Almost losing the back end through turn 1 and 2, missing the apex as well. It carries quite a lot of speed through their third gear, going into the loop now. Quite a bit of short shifting to try and minimise wheel spin. Oh. A Stark got a 5-place grid penalty for an incident with Cutler. Not too sure what that is for, but I am quite confused, to be honest. But we move on. As Benem goes through the middle sector. Oh, no, he doesn't go through the middle sector, more like. Restart goes into the pits. But they're down in the middle sector. So we're going to skip on board with Bad Bosch, who's not on our lap, neither is them. So stay on board with Cutler now. So Cutler marginally up in his lap time. He needs a good middle sector here to try and solidify himself in the top 10. He'll have one more attempt at lap after this, so he's got to try and pick up the laps about now. It comes around the final corner to set a 25.230, putting himself in P2 for now, which is a nice lap. His teammate Prius coming over the line to start his lap, taking a lot of inside curve at turn 1. With a bit of a lock up there. Ela feels rather nicely though. Is going through Maggots and Beckett's now, not taking the most amount of speed through there, but we'll see what he does. Is splits a 101.7. He's flying on his lap. This is a very quick middle sector split. Hasn't looked the quickest, but it is at the end of the day what you need for a good lap around here. Breaking up the white line at the 100 meters, brought down into third gear. Keeping in third gear, short shifting to 4. And this is surely going to be fast in the session. He comes over the line to a 24.887. So Prius taking a provisional pole position with a very, very impressive lap. Fella still out on the same set of softs? Question mark. He's done about 5 laps on these tyres, so I don't know why he's still out, to be honest, but that's his life. Peterstrom sets a 25.2 and El Pistolero goes second. Only half a tenth off Prius with a 24.922. A very, very nice lap time from him as well. Let's go on board with F2 Keen Sandman, who's going out from the soft compound of tyres. Quite a big lock up from him. So not a bad middle sector. Of course, most of this lap now flat out at Britain, quite a shame in a way, but yeah, there's not too many places to make up the time, so every corner counts that little bit more. Through Maggots and Beckett's now, taking a lot of speed through there. It's been quite a decent lap time from him. 101.9 middle sector. He's getting a really nice toe off the Red Bull ahead. Hopefully he gets out of the way as to not intrude his lap, using 5th gear for Stowe. The Bosch is on his outlap, ready to start his final lap of the session, as Keensman sets a 25.4, so not a bad time from him. We're going to go on board with the Bosch, one of the possible contenders for pole. Braking just where the curb starts, down into 3rd gear, hooking up a corner very nicely, using all the track available. Gets the power down nice and early. Sets a 26.8 first sector. That is a very, very fast first sector for the tier 2 sorts of pace. Getting some very nice traction now. Fluffield's carrying lots and lots of apex speed, and he's looking to be going on a very, very quick lap time now, keeping it flat. Through couples a little bit of a twitch, but keeps it very, very easily flat, using all of the curb at Maggots and Beckett. Loses maybe a bit of time on the exit as he does get the best, but on 101.9 middle sector, as you can see, does definitely lose quite a bit of time there going into the last sector, using 6th gear, using all the track available. Let's see what he can do down into 3rd gear, short shifting into 4th to try and minimise wheel spin. Let's see what lap time is going to be. Is he going to be in the 24s? Not quite, but goes 3rd with a 25.150. EXR Sky on a lap as well. See what he can do in this last sector. Go to the line to set a 25.264, which puts him P6. Who else is on the lap? No. So Small Horizon lap now. You can see a second separates the entire field here. So, oh, Horizon hits the wall there. And the entry to Cops. I'm not too sure how he's managed that, but somehow manages to keep the speed up. Might have got a bit of wing damage, you never know, but I don't know. Decent middle sector, marginally up now. Lost about 2/10 in that middle sector to his previous lap, so he really has to try and find some time in the last sector. Takes that rather nicely with Sambos going to the pits. Small Horizon going out then. 3rd gear for the last corner. Look at that extra rotation, goes across the line to set a 25.6, moving himself up into P15. Gonna see a lot of people go out on their final flyers now. Warned Flame going on his lap. Yeah. So Warned Flame going on his lap now. See what that first sector was. So 27 flying, he's into the gravel and he spun himself around. Gonna flick on board with it's a Prius who's going through Blufffields now. Why are you telling me that? It's a Prius taking that very nicely. 5th gear getting a very nice exit. He sets a 101.4 middle sector. This is gonna be an absolutely monstrous lap from Prius. This is gonna be fantastic from him. This is gonna be a very quick lap if he can get the last sector right. This could be. Cutler goes first with a 0.6, and Prius loses out 3/10 in the last sector. He has really bottled it here. So Prius missing out on pole, but his teammate guessing it. El Pistolero with a 101.674 middle sector. He's got a lot of time to find in the last sector. Let's see what he can do. Going through Stowe now, hitting it flat on the exit, running quite a bit wide, which might sacrifice his exit speed. Going through the last couple of corners, keeping in 3rd gear, short shifting to 4th and gets a traction down pretty nicely. Reese goes 4th and El Pistolero goes 2nd. A very quick lap times here. Faisal going P2, Prius P3 now, Pixar Asterix P4, CDRD P5, Louis T P6, Every Start P7. So I think that will conclude quali, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Yeah, very quite a very close qualifying pole with a 24.6, a very quick lap from Carla, and P last was a 25x, only 1.2 seconds separating the entire field. It just shows that you really have to put your laps in. Like Savapoli, one of the championship contenders, down in P14. So that concludes a very interesting qualifying with a few surprises in there.
Seriously. In quali?
Yep.
Oh dear. That is... 5 seconds, you mean 5th place?
No, like if like they both got warnings on the laps.
Oh right, yeah. Is it formation lap?
Ooh.
Mm, no.
Should I put my wing up to 3.6?
No.
Well, this is gonna... Oh, I'm on the inside. Shit. Oh, shit.
So we're gonna start the race now. Drivers picking their strategies and everything else they may want to change before the race, and we go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights out, and away we go for the start of the Silverstone GP. Carla getting a very nice start with El Pistolero getting himself up into P2. Asterix going side by side with El Pistolero, going to send it one down the inside, but El Pistolero holds it down the inside. Prius down into P4 to ZRD. Ooh, Louis T almost losing the car going side by side with Lou J Drabs. Stan Bubbles on the medium compound of tyres doing pretty decently, quite in qualifying, but yeah. So, Carla getting a very nice start. Already almost out of the DRS of El Pistolero using his overtake. That overtake is already below 50%, which is interesting to say the least. You can see PXR Asterix, part of the PXR Esports team, which we very much beat last week in a very convincing win. Just thought I'd mention that. So the two McLaren boys in P5 and P6 very well. As Warren Flame is round, I'm not too sure what's happened to him, but he is round. But Bosch has also not had the best of starts to this Grand Prix. This guy's going to go down the inside of Smaller Rise, making a bit of contact. It's fine. As Warren Flame's going to go round the outside. We're getting very close there. They stay on board with Sky here. He's going to go down the inside again. Very, very intense stuff from the two drivers here. Sky on the softs, he really needs to get past the medium runner as soon as he can, making a bit of contact there. A bit unnecessarily, as they're going to go side by side. Go through Copse, and that's El Pistolero round at Copse. He's had a spin, and oh wow, yeah, the Red Bull drivers are having a bit of a mare at the moment, and that is El Pistolero's race all but over now, as it's currently a Mercedes P1 and P2. Got a chilled bit of the race now. The pack starting to form into mini groups, if you want to call it that. Looking very strong for the people in the Mercedes, doing a very, very nice oh, as Harry Stark spins. But Warren Flavors is going to look for a move on the Bosch, both absolutely rinsing their overtake now. Going side by side through Stowe, making a bit of contact, but keeping it together. Will he go round the outside of the Bosch? No, he won't. The Bosch keeps the place. Quite a few of the medium runners doing very well. The likes of Jack H and Stan Bubbles doing a fine job. The gap between Cutler and Frias is slowly but surely going down, with Cutler already on 8% ERS. Absolutely nothing left, which means he'll be having 60% less deployment than usual. So he's going to be losing a lot of time on the straights. You can see he already is. Lost about 2 to 3 tenths just on the straights, just because he had less ERS. He's using it again, just losing so much time. Track 8 going for a move on Stunt Bubbles, and Stunt Bubbles loses quite a few positions. And 2 wide through Stowe, but Bosch making up lots of places. Quite an intense fight here. We've got a bit of a 4 to 5 man train led by F2 Keen Sandman. This guy using his overtake to try and get past F2 Keensman, which he does. He's going to fight it. The Alfa Romeo has 100% ERS. He's doing a fantastic job managing his ERS. He doesn't have damage. Look at those lovely track limits. Oh, ZZRD Reese is going for a move on PXR Asterix, who has to concede for now. Doing a fantastic job in P2. His teammate not doing so well down in P13, but looking quite promising. The Bosch goes round the outside, so getting a very nice move done. Too early. Too early. Oh, someone's rounding. It's a Prius. Is not out of the race, but he has definitely all but missed out on a chance of points. Sky. No. Oh my days. There's a few people into the pits. Thing is, with this track, the undercut really isn't powerful, but having the fresh tyres is definitely better. One flame god drive through. Ooh! As Reese goes round, I don't know what's happened there. Gosh, he's up into P2. He's had a mighty recovery drive here. Babosh doing an absolutely fantastic job. Just go an extra lap then, you might as well. You've got the ERS too. You'll have super fresh tyres. The ball's getting very close to the back of ZZRD. I would stay out, but you can pit. Yeah, they won't get punctured till 80. Pit. Ooh! As Sky almost hits into Benham going into the pits as everyone, pretty much most people go into the pits. Bosch has stayed out another lap, and he's definitely looking to go very long. Question is, will Benham or Sky get held in the pits? I don't think he has. No, comes out behind the Renault again. We're just waiting on 3 more cars to pit. Apley, Bosch, Jack H and Stan Bubbles still have not pitted. And Stan. There's no safety car as of yet, which is quite surprising to be honest, but so the Bosch is going to be picking this lap, I reckon, to go on to the mediums. He's gone very long on them, looking to get a very aggressive overcut. Oh, he stayed out again. Babosh stays out another lap. He's really going for it. Tempestian. Oh no, won't be going for a move because Reese has not ghosted. Small Horizon gets a 5-second for speeding into the pits. A lot of 5 seconds being handed out to people in the pits there, which is definitely interesting to say the least. Was Babosh ahead of Sky when Sky pit? Okay, it'll be interesting to see where Babosh comes out. Surely he's going to be into the pits now. Yep, he goes into the pits. And he's very slowly into the pits there. It's just the two racing points that are yet to pit now, both going on the alternate strategy, so they're going to be very much quicker at the later stage of the race. They'll be pitting around lap 16. Yeah, the medium run is definitely looking to be struggling to say the least, but they will be absolutely rapid at the end. Sky is still behind Ben M and has been for a long time, using his ERS. Oh, bit of contact through cops. So we're gonna watch this battle on board with Babosh. He's gonna try and spectate this battle, maybe partake in it himself. Venom's looking to be under a lot of pressure, using everything to try and stay ahead of Sky, but I think it's going to fail as Venom almost sends it down the inside. Of course, the two were very, very big championship rivals in Tier 3 as Venom almost sends Sky around, making a lot of contact there. Into man getting a beautiful switch back on Dark, but almost hits him in the process. Sky's gonna. Oh, Sky! And Venom almost making contact. Venom losing the back end on the curb there, almost spinning himself out. Oh, Venom. And Babosh going side by side there, as Babosh gets a very nice move done. So good stuff from him. Really needs to start pushing. Oh, and he's lost another position back as well. So Apolly up into P6 from P14, and he's on the mediums, doing a fantastic job. Managed to avoid all the trouble, and he's actually not that far off the lead. He's actually only about 8-9 seconds off the lead. You need to start pushing, Sky. You need to start pushing. Stan Bubbles goes into the pits now to pit for the soft compound of tyre. Quite a big train forming again. Quite pleased with Stan Bubbles, and the soft compound Atari is surely going to have a big advantage. Not too many battles really going on, as I said before. Quite a big DRS train, as to be expected at this track. Cutler setting first lap of the race with a 28.1, I think it was. Gosh, up into P6, so he's done a fantastic job. As Jack H in P5 on the softs, he's going to be flying as about now. He's going to be very, very quick. This guy almost dropping out of DRS. If Bosch is going to have to start to use a third of his overtake button. But Bosch on 14%, so this guy has about 60% more ERS than him, which could come in clutch towards the end of the race. Ben M just behind as well in a big DRS train. And two McLaren drivers not having too bad of a race, as Eric Stark goes down the inside of Liu J. Drabs, making a bit of contact there, but a clean move from the Haas driver, splitting up the two McLarens. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm having too bad of a day. Had a bit of a switch up during the transfer, and but that Liu J. Drabs was better to continue on development of their team. But Jack H has got past Apley and he is flying on the softs. Only 6 laps left of this race, so that's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Will he be able to make up more positions on his return to EXR? Jack H. So Asterix doing a solid job in P2 as well. The Williams drivers having a fantastic race so far. Prius and Keen Sandman having a bit of a battle. So Jack H really closing in to the back of Louis T, but Louis T has a lot more ERS on him, so we'll be looking to be keeping him out of DRS. ZRD doing a fantastic job now up into P8. Had a bit of a disappointment after spinning, but seems to be recovering pretty decently well. Jack H is right on the back of Louis T here. Could we see a last couple of lap overtakes? His softs are going to be dying out a little bit, so he's got to try and get the move done before his softs run out of life. So quite an intense battle between Sky and Wabash. Interested to see you can come out. Sky's tyres might be starting to die a little bit after he's been on them for two extra laps, but Appley's run the back of this train and Jack H is still behind Louis T and Asterix. Could we see some last lap drama? Cutler has waltzed away with this one, and he's doing a fantastic job controlling this race. The DRS train really prohibiting Jack H's progress here. As Luigi drops again very close to Aries Stark here. Stan Bubbles right on the edge of points here. Really needs to try and get a move on though. It's up 25, so he really needs to get a move done. Sky and Babosh getting ever closer to each other. Sky really needs to start to get a move done soon. We could see some last lap drama. Jack H is right in the back of Louis T, but's got nothing left. Louis T runs a bit wide, which will allow Jack H to get ever closer. He's going to go to look for a move on the outside of Louis T. No, he's not. He's going to stick behind for another lap, or is he? Is he going to go down the inside? He's using quite a bit of ERS, but chooses to stay behind for now. More fights down below. This guy's got to try and get a move on really now. He's going to probably use a bit of ERS just to get close enough through the S's. It's crucial now for Sky. He needs to get a good exit out of the S's. This guy, is he going for a move on Babosh? Yes, he is. You can see his ERS is flashing. He's going to go down the inside of his academy rival. And he doesn't get the move done, so be another twist in the tail. Jack H has got the move done on Jack H, and he's got one lap to hunt down Asterix to get P2. So Jack H right on the back of Asterix. Is he going to be able to get the move done now? Using quite a bit of his ERS. Is he going to go for a move down into Brooklands? No, he's not. Go back to the other dramas. Aries Arc right on the back of Luigi Drabs. Could we see lots of last lap overtakes? I think we might do, but not quite close enough. We're going to skip to the battle back for second place here actually. Jack H is right on the back of Asterix. He's really getting a move on. With Bosch less than 10%. Jack H has got one last effort to try and get past Asterix, but it's not going to work. Doesn't quite have the gap. Sky's got one last opportunity. He's got to use everything now. He's going to have to stick in the slip team. He's got the ERS. He's got the DRS. He's got the fuel. Is he going to go down the inside of Babosh? Yes, he is. He gets the move done. Will he be able to hold it back? Babosh is going to surely try and fight this. Doesn't quite have the chance, but Colour takes home the win, followed by Asterix, Jack H, Louis T, Apolly, and Sky. Babosh takes home P7 with ZZRD in P8. Luigi Drabs takes home provisional P9, will probably be P11. Unfortunately for him, which it is. Eri Stark takes home P9 and Stan Bubbles P10. So quite a fun race there. Cutler taking home the win from lap 1 right to the end. Did not look back. Got a big gap and just continued that. So fantastic drive from him. P2 Asterix and Jack H on their return sweeps are doing very well in P2 and P3 respectively. Louis T being Mr. Consistent as per usual with a P4. Apolly in P5. Sky in P6. The 2 weeks are Academy drivers doing very well so far in P5 and P6. Babosh, aka Explicit, not the best of races for him in P7. ZZRD, the McLaren, another very consistent driver, another consistent points finisher in P8. Aries Dark and Stan Bubbles finish off the points. Big step up from Tier 3, eh? So a bit of a disappointing race for some of the drivers, with Preacher Chom on P14 and Pistolero P15, and of course it's a Prius in P16. So that concludes today's drive. Thank you very much for being here with us, and we'll see you on Thursday for Tier 3.